I asked some questions on in the Facebook group around what you guys wanted to know, because marketing is one of those things. It's, you know, it's a, how long is a piece of string? How much is your budget? How much time do you want to spend on it? And it could be a huge thing or a small thing. Most of the questions were about social media, so that's where I'll kind of stick to today, and maybe do some other kind of general marketing stuff another time. Thanks for those who did. Oh, now I'm not. Oh, there we go. Thanks for those who did put their questions in as well. So, me, according to my Facebook profile, I'm a mum, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, I'm a wine lover, food gobbler, marketing machine, and events extraordinaire, if I do say so myself. I've been working in marketing and events since '98, when I graduated university in New Zealand, doing a Bachelor of Commerce in Marketing and Management, and I arrived in Australia in 2002. Your View Marketing I established in 2013. So my two little munchkins there, Jade and Lennon. So when I was pregnant with Lennon, I decided not to go back to my my corporate job and start my own business, which is always an exceptional idea when you have a toddler and a newborn. But we made it work, and 7 years later, we're still going. Got experience in lots of industries, working in the business as well as contracting to the business. A lot of that was through this group, actually, when I first joined, working with everybody from, you know, hairdressers to herbalists to personal trainers and all over the shop. I currently work mainly in the entertainment and AV technology, arts, events space. That's where most of my main clients are now, and where I've been working mainly since arriving in Australia, except with the small businesses from this group and local businesses. So what do I do? The business has evolved over time. When I first started, like a lot of people, you just kind of grab business from wherever you can because you want to make some money. Where I've really got to, though, is honing down to 3 different things. So being a virtual marketing manager for businesses, and doing project management for businesses. It might be a website project. It might be well, a business event such as a trade show or a launch or something like that. So that's what I've sort of honed down to. I can do other things. I've done social media management only for a baby retail shop for many years, but this is sort of where I'm trying to niche myself into a little bit more. So before we start on all the marketing questions, as I said, this is mainly about social media. I actually pulled this from a presentation I did a year and a half ago because I still very much believe it, especially as social media gets stronger and stronger on different platforms. So my number 1 takeaway marketing tip for everybody is to own your own customer. Don't rely on social media to do the work for you. What so many people do is they put all their eggs in one basket. They get on social media, they get on Facebook, or they get on Instagram, and they stay there. And what you really want to do is own your customer. Create a way to get your followers to give you their email address so you have that direct contact with them if you choose to. Could do a magnet, an offer. It could be an in-store promo, so it's not just online. You might be a retail store, or you might be a mortgage broker that has people come in and see you. Try and get their email address and their details, so then you can create your own online relationship with them on your terms via email marketing or other ways of advertising to those people. As I say, at any stage, your Facebook profile could be suspended, your Instagram shut down, your LinkedIn hacked, or worst of all, if you're under 25, TikTok could be banned. I don't know how much you're across TikTok at the moment, but Donald Trump's trying to ban it unless Apple buys it. So, you know. Social media, why do we want to be on social media, apart from the fact that there's, you know, it's so prominent in our marketing industry now. One of the reasons is to build your marketing email list, own your customer. Like I said, you want to use your social media to be able to connect, build your brand, give one-on-one direct communications with your customer. You want to do all those things for sure, and social media is great for that. But if you can try and get their details additionally to that, so you have them there and you're able to connect with them in other ways, it's really important. Groups for future business and nurturing, I'll talk about that a little bit later because somebody asked about that. And advertising campaigns, great for doing targeted advertising campaigns. Sorry, it's highly targeted, cost-effective advertising campaigns. Print media and things like that. Newspaper advertising, TV advertising has always been so much more expensive, and using social media gives small businesses a really great way to connect with a highly targeted audience. And referrals. Many of our members have benefited from that recently, in local groups, by people referring them. And if you don't have a Facebook page for your business, it makes it harder to get those referrals, because people are more likely to click on something and stay within the platform, and Facebook also wants you to stay within the platform. So if you can, it doesn't take a lot of effort. You don't have to be on it every day, but certainly having a business page on Facebook for referrals is quite a strong thing. And as I said, beware, don't put all your social eggs in one basket. This can happen to anyone. It's happened to loads of people. There's a hugely popular Instagram app called Plan, who have built their entire business around planning out your Instagram feed and being able to post. And even they've just been cut off at the knees by Facebook, who want to do a big audit on everybody, and all of their members are now in limbo and can't do any posting. So even they've kind of gone, this is what we've built our entire business around, and we have to diversify. So just be careful. Don't rely on one platform. Keep in mind Facebook and Instagram are also the same, but keep on the platforms that are relevant to you. So know your brand voice and use the appropriate platforms to engage your ideal customer. I know it's a bit of a marketing spiel, but it's a big one. You have the opportunity to communicate directly with your customers on Facebook. So know who you are, be authentic about who you are, and then use the appropriate platforms. If you're a small business, you're a solopreneur, being on every single platform is just not going to be an achievable concept for you. So choose, the 2 or 3 that work the best for you, and do well on those. I'm not going to go through all of the platforms. I've got some notes on all of them, but they all have their own purpose. They all have their own unique thing. Facebook is obviously the biggest one. And if you if your target market is over 30s, then that's the place you should be. It's also great for referrals and links, and it does other things that other platforms don't do. Instagram, obviously, if you're a photography, fashion, lifestyle, or e-commerce business, that's for you. TikTok and Snapchat are for the babies, but if that's who you're trying to reach, then that's a good one. YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the internet after Google, who owns it. So YouTube, if you've got video content, is absolutely a place to be. Keep in mind, if you've got video content on Facebook as well, don't link to YouTube. You've got to post it directly to Facebook. Otherwise, Facebook will deprioritize it because they don't like YouTube. They don't want you off their platform. LinkedIn is a massive one for professionals, and it's actually a really fast growing platform. I highly encourage people to be on that in terms of their personal brand. So if you've got a business page on there, that's great, and you should post things, but your personal branding from a business perspective on LinkedIn is so very important. I'm happy to have a chat to anybody about that, but yeah, LinkedIn is a great place to be. Twitter, if you're into politics, celebrities, technology is a great place, and Pinterest, if you are, well, Pinterest is a funny one, actually. I think I have to look, 80% of people on Pinterest are millennial women. So if the millennial woman is your target market and you've got a visual concept, then Pinterest is for you. So some quick questions. I've got no idea when I started, so if I can get like an 8-minute thing, that'll be good. Facebook groups. So there was some question about Facebook groups and whether they were still relevant and they were worth spending time on. The answer is yes. If you can create a community of your like-minded and ideal customers and communicate with them and get them communicating with each other, it is an invaluable thing that Facebook offers. Facebook also does prioritize well, the algorithm still supports groups more than it supports pages. So if you are engaged in a group, or if you belong to a group, you will likely get more screen time in front of your followers than your page. Future clients get free information from you, and you can develop your trust before their purchase. So that's another really great one for those who came to Kate Toon's presentation last year, I think. I mean, she's done this really, really well. She spends almost no advertising dollars whenever she launches her big course that she does twice a year. She basically relies on her word of mouth, and her 2 or 3 groups that she runs to get those people, and she gives nuggets of information out all the time for SEO and other business advice. So if you can do that, but it needs time and energy. Don't start one and then do nothing with it. I even did that. I started one, got 4 members, 2 of those were me and my husband, and I just went, why am I doing this? I don't have the time and the strategy right now to support this group. They are really, really great things, but you need to spend time on them, even more so than your page. And they need to be really conversational in their manner. So don't just post things and be one-sided. Don't just post them out and kind of be done with it. It really needs to be conversational, and supporting that. Don't get over possessive with your group. So over moderation will completely kill it. I know groups that the moderator has to approve the post before it goes up and things like that, and it's just such a barrier for people to get involved. You need to have some strong guidelines, obviously, but then you need to also just let it flow and understand that the members of your group if you run it well, the members of your group have a vested interest in being a part of that group, and they want to be a part of it at growing and developing. So you need to let that happen. Another quick question was the best way to gain more followers or get attention on social media. So, I mean, that's a very general question. So I'm just going to give you some really general answers. Great content, is always going to be the thing. If you have great content, you're going to have people share your content. You're going to have people like and engage with your content, which means you're going to get more people seeing your content. So it has to be great content. Variety, relevancy, and authenticity is the key. And post what your followers want to know, not what you want your followers to hear. And I know that sounds like a kind of a funny way of looking at it, but if you're just constantly telling people what you want them to know, you might not be listening to what it is that they want to hear from you, or what it is that they want to know from you. So think about what it is that they want to hear and how they'd want to hear it. Engaging content, like I said, if you post engaging content, then you're going to get more followers and get attention. Some people do this in a really positive manner, and they post really positive content, and other people do it in a very, I won't say a negative manner, but a very controversial manner. So, I don't encourage clickbait at all, but, the clickbait mentality of having stuff that is going to generate some arguments or some conversation. I'd err on the positive side, but it depends what your brand strategy is. Be consistent with your messaging and your timing. So have a look at your stats, have a look at where your members and your followers are online. You can go into the back end and see when your posts are most highly engaged with. You can have a look at see how what time most of your followers online. So have a look at that stuff and be consistent with trying to reach them at those times. As I said, have a strong brand voice. Know who you are and stick with that. If you're all over the shop, people aren't going to engage because they're not quite sure what it is that they're engaging with. Advertising campaigns. So like I said, none of us want to spend money. We want it all to happen organically and beautifully and everyone come to us. But unfortunately, that's not always the way. And also we might have some times where we're really looking to up our email list. We might have times when we've got stock we want to move. We might have times where it's slow and we want to have a promotion in some way to engage people. So advertising campaigns on social media will gain you more followers depending on what it is. and get your attention, but they'll also, yeah, raise that brand profile. Use hashtags on certain things. So LinkedIn, or Instagram hashtags are key. So the mentality on Instagram is that people look up hashtags and they find different pages that they want to engage with via that method. Facebook in their new, I don't know if anyone's gone from classic Facebook to the new Facebook online, it's quite different, but the new one actually strongly supports hashtags, as does LinkedIn. So if you can have some common hashtags that you use and then some ones that you mix up each time, that's also a way to get that to get those followers. And my favorite that I'd like to work more on with the group is collaboration with other like-minded businesses. So if you can find businesses that have a synergy with yours, are not in competition with yours, and that you really have a really good connection with, collaborating with them is, not just on social media, is a really great thing to do. You know, if you've got 1,000, they've got 1,000, there's only a crossover of a couple of hundred, then all of a sudden your reach is massive. You can share each other's content, run competitions or promotions together, things like that can really help your businesses. And if they've got a good reputation, then by doing that, you automatically get that great reputation along with their followers. So that's something I highly encourage people to try and see if they can find.
Right, Jodie, just a 2-minute warning, I'd say.
Thanks, babe. So how to get reviews? Just ask. Send links to people to make it easy for them to click and follow. So if you want a Google review or a Facebook review, you can get that specific link and you can send it to them. Do it as part of a thank you email or a follow-up email after treatment or completion of a project or a job, and to say, hope everything went well. It'd be really great if you could, give a review if you felt the need, or if you had a positive experience. Don't offer payment gifts or prize pool offers. It goes against every platform guideline, and if the Google beasts and the Facebook gods of the world see you or work out that you're doing it, they'll hit you really hard with the band stick, and then you, like slide 3 or 4 or whatever it was, you'll lose your page. How to use an email review. I think somebody asked if somebody emails you a review, again, see above, maybe email them back and say, that's so wonderful, thank you so much, love it. Would you be able to, post this here, or here, and give the links. And the other one is turn it into a graphic and post it. Just turn it into a graphic and post it on your socials. People will see it and respond to it well. And look, I did it right for time. One last thing, Adrian will like this one, from a technology top tip kind of thing. If you don't know Canva.com, I highly suggest you go and look at Canva.com if you are on social media. Canva is a free, there's a pro version, but a free graphic design tool website, easy drag and drop interface, provides access. I'm just looking over 1 million photographs, videos, graphics, and fonts. That marketing FAQs thing, I really quickly designed that in like 5 minutes by grabbing some stuff. If you haven't tried it, go have a play. It's the best thing for social media content creation. You can upload your own images. Excuse me. You can create videos. So, within social media posts, you can create GIFs, all this stuff. So especially if you're stuck for content and you're not really sure what to post, go and have a play in there and have a little look around. And it's just a really, really great tool. So that's me. I did better than I thought.
Cool.
I guess there's a little bit of time for any questions.
Yeah. I'll just ask. Thank you. Grant just put a question in the chat. Grant, do you just want to come off mute and just ask Jodie a question, mate?
Yeah, thanks, Jodie. Great presentation. Thank you. Regarding reviews or testimonials, when you're asking clients to do that after your engagement, what is the best platform to publish those? Is it Facebook, Insta, all of them? Obviously, just wanted your input.
So it depends on the platforms that you're using and what you're trying to do. So I would encourage, and I didn't actually put it in here, I would encourage everyone to make sure they've got a Google My Business page. So when somebody looks up, Gravitas Financial, you get your little column on the right-hand side of the Google screen that has My Business. Reviews on there are because Google's obviously the #1 search engine and it's so wonderful. And if you've been recommended by someone and they type your exact your exact business in, then you will come up with the Google My Business, and you don't have to worry about advertising and things like that, or SEO even, because you've got that namespace. So Google reviews on there are really important. Facebook reviews are really important if that's where you're kind of generating your customers and you're getting referrals as well. And then LinkedIn also. So and again, the more personal branding. So for a business like yours, for a business like mine, a solopreneur or a small business, having reviews on when people have worked with you individually, Grant's so great, he knows so much stuff and he's really helped my family with this, that and the other on LinkedIn. That's also a really great place. Those are the 3 kind of main review places that I would kind of be focusing on, because the other platforms probably don't have the same, you can't get a review on Instagram, for example. So those would be the 3 main places that I would be looking for, but it depends where you're appearing, and it depends priority wise where you're kind of gaining your new customers from.
Cool. Thanks.
Does that make sense?
Beautiful. Thank you, Jodie. Thank you, Grant.